You're listening to an African Elements top news story for March 19th, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Haiti Deportation Flight 46 sent back. The United States recently resumed deportation flights to Haiti, sending 46 individuals back to a country facing an unprecedented humanitarian crisis. This move has sparked outrage from human rights groups and advocates. For many in the African diaspora, this situation underscores the deep-seated issues within the U.S. immigration system and its disproportionate impact on Black immigrants. The decision to resume these flights comes despite warnings from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, about the extreme dangers in Haiti. Consequently, organizations like the American Immigration Justice Center have labeled it unconscionable and shameful, highlighting the blatant disregard for the safety and well-being of those being deported. Haiti is currently grappling with near-total societal collapse. Gangs control vast swaths of the capital, Port-au-Prince, and crucial infrastructure, leading to widespread violence and displacement. The country is facing shortages, an impending famine, and a healthcare disaster. The numbers paint a stark picture of desperation. For instance, the International Organization for Migration reports over 500,000 internally displaced people. Furthermore, an estimated 5.5 million Haitians, nearly half the population, require humanitarian assistance, and 3 million children are in dire need. These figures highlight the severity of the crisis, making the U.S. decision to deport individuals to such conditions all the more troubling. A critical aspect of this story is who is being deported. While some may assume that only those convicted of serious violent crimes face deportation, the reality is far more complex. U.S. immigration law casts a wide net. Subsequently, even minor offenses like failing to return rental cars can trigger deportation proceedings. This means individuals who have lived in the U.S. for decades, built families, and contributed to their communities can be uprooted and sent to a country they may barely know, often based on convictions from years ago. This broad application of deportation laws disproportionately affects Black immigrants, who are already overrepresented in the criminal justice system. Beyond the danger of sending people to a nation in chaos, there are serious concerns about the fairness of the deportation process itself. Many of those deported did not receive adequate legal representation during their initial asylum or removal proceedings, often many years ago. This lack of due process is a recurring theme. In the same vein, there are situations where individuals who would otherwise qualify for asylum or legal relief are ultimately deported due to insufficient counsel or procedural errors. This historical oversight can have life-altering consequences, especially given the current conditions in Haiti. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of these deportations is the separation of families. Many deportees have lived in the United States for years, even decades, and have established families, including U.S. citizen children. For example, one case highlighted by advocates involved a Haitian man deported, leaving behind his 7-year-old daughter, a U.S. citizen. This forced separation inflicts significant trauma on both the deported individual and the family left behind. Moreover, it raises questions about the long-term social and economic impacts on these fractured families, particularly on children who grow up without a parent due to deportation. The recent deportation flight is not an isolated incident, but part of a larger trend. From January 2021 to February 2022 alone, the U.S. deported over 20,000 Haitians. This demonstrates a persistent and aggressive enforcement policy, even amidst widely known and acknowledged instability in Haiti. While the Biden administration temporarily halted flights, the recent resumption signals a continuation of this trend. Consequently, the recent flight is a concerning indicator of a possible acceleration of deportations. Advocates and human rights groups fear that this could lead to even more families being torn apart and more individuals being sent to a country where their lives are at risk. The principle of non-refoulement is a cornerstone of international law. It prohibits nations from returning individuals to a country where they might endure torture, cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Critics argue that deporting people to Haiti in this perilous moment directly violates this principle. Haiti's conditions, with widespread gang violence and a collapsed state, raise significant concerns about the safety and security of those deported. This concern becomes more acute when the deportation is not based only on critical issues, but on things like not returning rental cars. Copyright African Elements.